So you're dreaming of joining the Integrated Program in Management at IIM Jammu, right? It's an incredible program, but let's be honest, the admission process can look a little complicated. But don't you worry. We're about to map out every single step, giving you the clear, direct roadmap you need to get in.
So what does it really take? What's the secret sauce? Is it just about crushing a test, or is there more to the story? We're going to break down all the hurdles and all the requirements so you know exactly where to put your focus. Let's dive right in.
Okay, first things first. Before you even think about buying a study guide or booking an exam slot, we have to tackle the very first hurdle, eligibility. Let's run through these essential checks to make sure you're good to go.
All right, pay attention to the dates here, because IIM Jammu is very specific. For your Class 10 exams, you need to have passed in 2021 or any year after that. And for Class 12, you got to be in that 2024 to 2026 window. And hey, some good news for students from international boards? Yep, IGCSE and IB are totally welcome to apply.
Now, let's talk numbers. Here's the big one you need to remember, 60%. For all you general category candidates out there, you absolutely must have at least 60% in both your 10th and 12th grade exams. Think of it as your non-negotiable entry ticket to the game.
Now, there is a little bit of flexibility here. For candidates in the SC, ST, or persons with disabilities categories, that bar is set just a little bit lower, at 55% for both 10th and 12th grade. So definitely keep that in mind as you're checking your eligibility.
Okay, so you've checked the boxes on eligibility. You're in. Now it's time for the main event, the JIPMAT. Make no mistake, this entrance exam is the absolute heart of your entire application. Let's break down what it is.
So, JIPMAT. It stands for the Joint Integrated Program in Management Admission Test. This is the official exam run by the National Testing Agency, the NTA. It's the one-stop gateway for the IPM programs at both IIM Jammu and IIM Bodh Gaya. This is the test you've got to conquer. Now listen up, because this part is super important. It's not enough to just get a good overall score on the JIPMAT. You have to clear the minimum percentile cutoff in each and every section. For the general category, that's a 50 percentile in quant, DI in logical reasoning, and verbal ability. If you miss the cutoff in even one of those, you're out of the running for the merit list. The takeaway here? Balanced preparation is absolutely crucial.
So you're eligible and you've aced those JIPMAT sectional cutoffs. Fantastic. But how does IIM Jammu put all the pieces together to create that final merit list? Let's pull back the curtain and look at the exact recipe they use.
Just look at this breakdown. It's pretty clear, right? Your JIPMAT percentile is the undisputed hero of your application, carrying a massive 70% of the weight. Now, your Class 12 and Class 10 marks are still important, for sure. They each chip in a solid 15% to your final score. But that JIPMAT score, that's the big one.
And here it is in black and white. It all boils down to this simple formula. A huge chunk from your JIPMAT score, topped up with your academic performance from school. This, right here, is the math that will decide your final rank.
All right, creating the final merit list isn't just about plugging numbers into a formula. There are two other really important factors that come into play: the government's reservation policy, and a very specific set of rules for what happens when students have the exact same score.
So IIM Jammu, being a government institution, strictly follows the Government of India's reservation policy. This basically means that a certain percentage of seats are reserved for specific categories, like NCOBC, SC, ST, EWS, and persons with disabilities.
This question comes up all the time. It's a nail-biter, right? What happens if you and another student end up with the exact same final composite score, down to the decimal? How do they decide who gets the higher rank? Well, they have a very detailed plan for that.
Here is the official order for breaking a tie, and they follow it to the letter. First, they look at who has the higher overall JIPMAT score. Still tied? Okay, then they check your Class 12 score. Still a tie after that? They move to your Class 10 score. And if somehow the tie still isn't broken, they start digging into your JIPMAT sectionals. First verbal, then quant, and finally, data interpretation. It's a super thorough process.
Whoa! You did it! You've navigated the whole process and you have an admission offer from IIM Jammu. That's huge. But you're not quite at the finish line yet. Let's talk about the crucial final steps you need to take. So, to lock in your spot, you'll need to pay an offer acceptance fee. The good news is that money just gets applied to your first semester's fees later on. But what if your plans change? Well, you can withdraw before the deadline, usually around the beginning of August, and get your money back minus a tiny processing fee. Just be sure about your decision, because once you register, that fee becomes non-refundable. So, after going through all the nitty-gritty details, the strategy becomes crystal clear, doesn't it? The path to IIM Jammu's IPM program is paved with a fantastic JIPMAT score, and it's backed up by strong, consistent grades in your 10th and 12th. That right there, that's the winning combination.
And there you have it. You've got the complete roadmap, from the first eligibility check all the way to final admission. Every rule, every percentage, every step is laid out right in front of you. So the only question left to ask is, are you ready to start your journey?